11 February 2020, and today I want to quickly take you through a press conference that has just been held by Temba Mliswa in Harare. And after the press conference, Temba Mliswa was arrested and he was taken to the Harare Central Police Station, where he was charged with breaking COVID regulations. But I want to quickly take you through the key points, what he revealed, and then I'll give you my quick conclusions. So, Temba Mliswa said the Morning Post newspaper, which first published the story with Susan Mutami, a 32-year-old Australian woman, or Australian-based Zimbabwean woman, was a CIO project. So the newspaper, which is being run by or edited by Elias Mambo, he said that is a CIO newspaper and he's got evidence which he can produce in court. If the time comes for him to go to court, he's going to expose that that newspaper is owned by the CIO. He says the newspaper was reckless to publish details about other people who are innocent. So, for example, he mentioned Eleanor. So there was one lady from Yad called Eleanor that was mentioned as being in love with Temba, and he said that was irresponsible. He also said Godzwo Zinyama is his brother-in-law, is married to his sister, so there's no way the two could be having a sexual relationship. Mliswa then went on to say he dated Susan Mutami, knowing that she was a CIO operative or a CIO project, but he wanted to discover who was behind her. So he wanted to know why she had been sent to him. So it was a plot on his side, a countermeasure to discover who was behind Susan Mutami. Mliswa said he only dates women who are above 40. He does not date young women because he's got a daughter who is 30 years old. But I'm not sure why he dated Susan, who is 32. Then he went on to say he is not gay. He's in fact homophobic. And he said he has lodged a complaint against the Zimbabwe Morning Post at the Voluntary Media Council. He also went on to say he has written to the Director General of the CIO, Isaac Moyo, and he has asked him to investigate everything that is alleged by Susan Mutami. He asked them to investigate. And if they do not investigate, he said that means they are part of this plot. He said challenging Mnangagwa for the presidency is not a crime, but at the moment he supports Mnangagwa. And he also said he knows that Susan is working with Owen Mudha Ncube because she told him when she first came to Norton that Owen Mudha Ncube told her to come to Norton to make donations. And he said he had asked, why don't you go to ZANU-PF constituency? Why come to Norton? That is when he realized that there was a plot against him. He also said Susan had telephonic conversations with Owen Mudha Ncube besides the text messages that we've already seen. They had telephonic conversations. And he mentioned that when they went to Shurugwi, Susan was going to donate to the community. She was not just going to see his mother. So it's untrue that he went with her to Shurugwi as a way of proposing. If you remember, Susan said, Temba took me to Shurugwi to show me how serious he was. And Temba is now saying, no, that's not true. They had gone to Shurugwi to make donations to the community. You also remember that Susan said Temba Mliswa wants to contest in Shurugwi in the next elections. He wants to leave Norton. Right. Then the other allegation that he made was that Susan Mutami, when she's making donations, there are people who are paying for duty. These goods are not coming to Zimbabwe duty-free. And himself, he paid 10,000 US dollars. And then when it comes to General Chiwenga, he says he loves General Chiwenga's way of doing things. He thinks Zimbabwe should have a militant approach. It does not need a priest. And then he says that Susan was given 6 CIOs who went with her to Eleanor's house to retrieve her bricks, the 7,000 bricks. And he says he does not know how Susan could get police or CIO to escort her when she's not a VIP. He also alleged that when she arrives at the airport, she's received by CIOs. Then in terms of the children, the twins, he says if Susan gives birth, they're going to do a DNA test, and if it's his children, he's going to take care of them. He's got 18 children already. He's taking care of all of them. Then Temba apologized to all the people that were affected by this issue, including his constituency. Now, I want to go to the allegations that were made by Temba Mliswa. The first one is that Susan Mutami is mentally ill and she needs help. So he says he knows she's mentally ill, she needs to be treated, and journalists must stop abusing her. He says most Zimbabwean newspapers, online newspapers, are funded by the CIO. He said July Moyo and Owen Mudha Ncube did not support Idi Mnangagwa during Mugabe's days. They kept quiet when he was being attacked. And obviously, as I said, he said he paid $10,000 when he received the donations from Susan, and he has already written to the Australian embassy in Zimbabwe to question this, why it had to be done. Now, let's look at the issues that were not addressed by Temba. The issue of going around the country with snuff, he brushed over it. He did not address it. Did he really go around the country and put snuff around the country so that he could be president of Zimbabwe? He did not properly address it. The issue of whether he's got a room at his house where he punches holes through July Moyo's heart, he did not properly address it. In fact, he needed to have gone through all the allegations made by Susan Mutami, and he was supposed to address them. He did not address the issue of extorting people. He did not address that he was having a farm for Kasukuwere's brother. He did not properly address the issue of poisoning Emerson Mnangagwa Jr. So he brushed over these issues. Maybe he's got the answers, but he should have properly addressed these issues. Then I want to end with what we learned about Temba Mliswa's family. His father was Peter Mliswa. He was in Zapu. He was very close to Joshua Nkomo, and he was a social worker. Mliswa's mother went to school with General Tongogara in Zambia. She was a nurse, and Temba was born in Zambia. After independence, Temba's father refused to go into government or politics. And then Temba has got a daughter who is 30 years old, who is a lawyer. Temba's father had one wife and 6 children. And Temba's 2 brothers are married with kids. And obviously he's got his sister, Mary Mliswa Chikoka, who is a member, an MP for ZANU-PF. And he says she used to read newspapers. She was well brought, and her father used to call her British. And I want to conclude by saying, I think Temba did well by coming out to talk about these issues. He's addressed a lot. He's not hidden he's faced from the public. So the public have seen him addressing the issue. What he needs to do is to now follow through. If he has sent this communication to the Director General of the CIO, we need to see what the Director General of the CIO is going to do. And we want to see proof that the Zimbabwe Morning Post is owned by the CIO. We need all this information out in the public domain. Now that he's been arrested, we want to see what is going to happen with all the other allegations. It's very, very important. Right, that's all I wanted to say about Temba Mliswa and his press conference today addressing allegations made by Susan Mutami. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again later.